This One's Wife, Hospitalised Dad, Insta Time. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. Bradley Jolly, in the Daily Mirror, reports that Thomas Markle Sr.'s son has given a key update on his father's health. The former TV lighting director, aged 81, is now in a stable condition, but remains in intensive care, Tom Jr. explained. His father was taken to hospital in the Philippines on Tuesday after he became seriously ill at his home. He had a 3-hour operation, from which it is said he is now recovering. Tom Jr., aged 59, said last night, "I went to see Dad today. He is heavily medicated on painkillers and other drugs. He is hooked up to all kinds of machines. He's pretty much out of it. The doctors say he is stable, which is good news. He's a brave man and a fighter." It is thought the former director of photography is now set to go through another surgery to take out a blood clot. This comes amid an outpouring of support from people across the world, including in the United Kingdom, after social media became saturated with messages of hope. Speaking to the Daily Mail, Tom Jr. continued, "The whole family is grateful for the outpouring of love and well wishes from people around the globe, particularly from Britain. We thank everyone for their support and ask that you keep sending positive thoughts for Dad's recovery." Mr. Markle's other daughter, Samantha, 61, said, "We are all hoping and praying that Dad pulls through. He has a long journey of recovery ahead of him." Tom Jr. said the family has heard nothing from the Sussex camp following his dad's admission to hospital. He added, "I would implore this one's wife and Harry to reach out to Dad. The Sussexes have yet to comment on his health crisis." Accordingly, that's the latest update with regard to Thomas Markle Sr., who remains seriously ill but stable at the current time, his son ensuring that the media are provided with updates. Silence abounds from this one's wife. Her reaction, in fact, is this. Take a look at this.
Thank you so, honestly, so much.
Yes. Rather than get on a plane and fly to the Philippines, rather than be ringing to speak to her half-brother, Thomas Markle Jr., to obtain an update, this one's wife remains silent with regard to the plight of her father and instead takes to her favourite thing after herself, social media. A new video has been put on her social media by this one's wife, a chunk of which I have shown you there. There's actually more to it. She also provides footage from her visit to the chocolate factory, but I cover that in a separate video, so I've not included it here. She also includes Harry's appearance on the Stephen Colbert Show, which again I've covered elsewhere, so I've not included it again, and also some footage in relation to fan responses concerning the With Love Meghan holiday celebration, which is so anodyne and dull, I really can't be bothered to include it. This encapsulates once again the mindset of the narcissist. Often, when I consult with people, they, and understandably so, believe that the narcissist is sat there plotting and planning their demise. I explain to them that for the vast majority of narcissists, this isn't actually the case. That although, as a consequence of misinformation that's pumped out on the internet and emotional thinking, many victims of narcissists think that the narcissist is sat there, determining in a hollowed-out volcano like some Bond villain, how can I make this person's life a misery? It isn't the case. A lot of the time, the narcissist isn't thinking about you at all. It might seem to you that the narcissist is obsessed with you, but in actual fact, a cold hard analysis of the evidence invariably demonstrates that that's not the case. For example, A number of years ago, one of my clients contacted me, and I'd spoken to her on numerous occasions and knew that she wasn't a Fruit Loop, explaining that she had been incessantly hoovered by the narcissist, that this had happened time and time again as a consequence of his obsession with her. We actually went through the evidence and found that he'd only hoovered 4 times in 2 months, which actually brought her a considerable amount of comfort. I explain this to underline the point that this one's wife is not thinking about her father most of the time. Having disengaged from him, it's as if he is already dead. That is the way that her narcissism treats him. He serves no purpose. Occasionally, he will pop up on her radar, and she will then deal with that issue by smearing him in order to assert control over him. And then he disappears back into oblivion, in effect. She doesn't need fuel from him. She doesn't need character traits from him or residual benefits. The only issue she has is that she needs to maintain control over him, and because of the different way she can do that through the 3 assertions of control, she achieves this. Instead, she focuses on things which her narcissism deems far more important, which is posting anodyne nonsense on Instagram. And thus, you have, in the snippet that you have just seen, this one's wife showing a clip from the filming of her with the ridiculous advent calendars, which I critiqued in my hilarious takedown of the holiday special. If you haven't watched that, go and do so. The videos are there. There are 3 of them. We then have her showing off her death scythes as she writes people's names. And then we're treated to the ridiculous sight of her either sending out our place goodies to people or receiving them. I suspect they're being sent out. They've even got a little bit of a golden rosette placed upon them for the purposes of it being Christmas, as she sways from side to side like a moronic teenager. Why does she do that? Well, of course, she's being filmed, so she's receiving fuel, and that makes her feel powerful. So the reaction is for her to sway side to side. She then gives a speech thanking people because, of course, she is so gracious, so magnanimous, and then there's all of the people that are presumably absolutely delighted that they no longer have anything to do with this preposterous program, celebrating their release from being indentured servants to this one's wife. But once again, it throws into stark contrast the behaviour of the narcissist in relation to the serious hospitalisation of her father. Even if she were not minded to contact him, notice she doesn't even bother with going quiet for a period of time. She continues to pump out asinine nonsense on social media, making it all about her. It demonstrates, as I have repeatedly told you for years, this woman has no emotional empathy whatsoever. And this reaction to the news about her father, and she will know what has happened because she keeps an eye on what goes on in the news in relation to the family and the royal family. She will know. Her response is simply to brush it to one side. She has no sense of conscience, no sense of guilt, and even in this instance, her narcissism doesn't even deem that there is anything to be gained by being seen to rush to his side as some kind of final angel of salvation. It doesn't even merit that. Why? Because it would take time, effort, and money. The narcissism essentially undertakes a cost-benefit analysis and determines, well, the gain that would be obtained from rushing to his side is offset by the fact that it would take us time, it would take money, and there are more important things to do, like go to chocolate factories. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Whereas those of you with emotional empathy would drop everything were your father unwell, where you have a decent relationship with him, or even if you didn't, many of you would still do that, but not this one's wife. Remember, her interactions with every single person are always, repeat, always governed by her narcissism. And here you see precisely how her narcissism operates. She doesn't give a rat's ass about her father. She's more concerned with pumping out dross on social media. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for watching.